Tune in Monday, Wednesday, or Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time or 5 p.m. UTC Time to watch the Sandstorm stream live here on YouTube or over on Twitch.
Interviewing Lost Souls. So do you want to give a quick intro?
So yeah, we're Lost Souls Sanctuary on OpenSea, I guess, and then Lost Souls NFT on Twitter. We launched August 15th.
We're working towards integrating a DeFi protocol and Web3. We wanted something to kind of put a community together. The idea was to create something that people can actually connect with, and it was kind of a one of those like meet up in Discord stories. We connected with Clarissa, and we liked the vibe of the art and what it conveyed, and kind of the user base that it could go across, not just being for adults or just for kids. Kind of it's a medium where anybody can resonate with one of the traits or just the look overall. And so and then we're now taking that community and using it to build off the idea that we've been working on for now 2-3 years, I think, between me and Glue.
So you guys have been building throughout the bear market pretty much.
Yeah, that was 2018, 2019 was pretty brutal.
Could you give us a background of the project? Is this a game you guys are building, or is it something completely different?
We wanted an NFT to explain. We really like them because they help explain property ownership to people. And that's like one of the biggest kind of things that we've been working on in terms of our, I guess, DeFi protocol. We have a chance to make property ownership a lot different than it is, or than it current is. And right now it's really just, I mean, if you think of just land as a property, it's very monopolistic, at least in the West. And there's other schemes out there that, kind of try to organize, land in certain ways and whatnot. And when I say land, it's the easiest to talk about, but like it's property ownership of really anything at the end of the day, right? Because that's what crypto brought us was like ease of transfer of this property ownership. So literally like you can kind of transfer any sort of property, whether it be an NFT, whether it be kind of some other asset. So we really like just harp on that aspect and kind of have developed a solution around, it's called Herberg taxes. And what Herberg taxes is, it kind of, it abstracts the idea of property ownership to not be monopolistic, like you buy and you hold and you can never move it. What it kind of has this monkey, it has a few rules to it. So really what it is your property is always on sale. You list it for a price and you say, hey, if your property is worth, 50 grand or whatnot, someone can at any point come and buy that land from you for 50K because that's the price you listed at. So the other aspect is that you have a small tax that you pay on that land. So kind of, you're not incentivized to, spend really high on it. You're not incentivized to your 50K property. You're not incentivized to list it for 200K because you have to pay a tax on it. And too low, someone could steal it from you. So the idea is that, or steal it at a cheap price. The idea is that it kind of finds an actual market value of land, and that was kind of like the biggest thing we wanted to do, is basically bring the ideas of market structure and think about like an order book, or you're trading an asset or whatnot. We wanted to bring that to property.
So is the property inside of the Lost Souls project? Like, are you guys coming out with land plots for sale?
Yes. So that's where, so we've had this plan for a decent amount of time, and the souls themselves were kind of our way to show property ownership and have an NFT that we can have control of, at least in the beginning, to build into our DeFi protocol. So the souls are going to be like intimately linked into that kind of, basically the souls kind of provide a way for us to, like I said, you can increase the value of your property by building on it or whatnot. And what you would do is you would actually like stake your souls on that property. So then it would kind of increase the value of that property to work in our full system. And we can kind of have good pricing oracles and kind of have control over how, the NFT is kind of, traded between, because these are kind of new concepts. So yeah, the souls were kind of the first iteration of that, of assets they're going to be allowed. They're kind of the first kind of whitelisted assets that are going to be allowed to stake on your property.
Basically, you can buy a land plot, and in order to encourage people to build on it, the more they build on it and the more they use it, the more the value will increase. And on top of that, you can stake a soul onto that land, and then the value will increase even more to encourage, user participation. Which is cool.
That's exactly it. And then, if if the land or that landowner doesn't want to kind of use it anymore and the value just kind of drops out or whatnot, then, then someone else can come and buy it and kind of build up with that and kind of has that platform to really, so that's the idea, is like to kind of, I don't want to walk in our metaverse and see like a bunch of empty plots. I want to see like this, the sickest builds like right at that Genesis block and like reaching out, and like I want, I want every plot to be filled and to be used to the extent. So we're trying to develop our platform that, it becomes metaverse agnostic, so that you can actually use our schemes within plots of land on Sandbox.
Okay.
Is what we're working with now. Yeah. So that technically, like, I don't want to talk too, like, because I just technically still haven't figured that out. But yeah, that's kind of because we're also sitting on, we have a 6x6.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have one build going, but we're like, what do we do with the rest of the builds? Like there's a lot to do.
Do you want to talk a little bit more about your 6x6 land plot?
Yeah, Crypto Vince, you want to take that?
Funny enough, we purchased a 6x6 to, to show off our logo on the map a little bit, but also to show that, we do want to be, metaverse agnostic. So we're not just, depending on the release of our own metaverse because it goes back to on the same round of branding hand. So, we want to build out something that gives, everybody owns a soul, and even also, like, most people are going to be able to access different places in Sandbox of our build, depending on what kind of soul you own, and then the general community will be able to hang out. But really, we just wanted to, really get that going. So we started out with a sanctuary build on one of our plots. So we're gonna have a nice big Lost Souls castle within Sandbox that should be done within the next couple weeks. So that should be a nice preview. And then some mini games involved within our build are also coming. So those will be pretty fun for our community to interact with.
Do you think you can go into a little more detail about what you're building inside the sandbox? Because right now it sounds like you're not going a full gaming route. Sounds like there's going to be a mix of everything.
When we had talked to the game makers that we're kind of working with, they had expressed that like the game mechanics themselves are not 100% there yet. But what we did was we designed and I guess we could talk about the build, but really what we designed is a few fold. So we designed the sanctuary to kind of show off the souls. So each floor is going to have a different kind of, based on rarity, what sort of soul you hold as the most rare, kind of being the top and whatnot, and kind of doing, NFT access that way. And then they started talking about what we could do with the gaming aspect. So we are going to have kind of a big venue downstairs just for like kind of meetups and whatnot, and then have a dungeon aspect where we kind of have mini games and, having NPCs within the actual sanctuary. They could either learn about the project, we can run, all the like kind of just like community stuff through those avatars or through those like NPCs that you can talk to or whatnot. And then maybe, we have a bunch of different plots, so we might, kind of make it, run giveaways through there or whatnot, and then kind of have it in the end towards kind of working in the, I guess like the dungeon downstairs. We can have like, fighting some sort of, I think we're fighting, I forget exactly what we have, but so yeah, I mean, we're excited to see what Sandbox is really cool. We're excited to see what kind of more we could do with it.
Is there a lore behind the Lost Souls or that project in general?
It's actually, if you actually check out our smart contract, I actually wrote some of it in there. But really, yeah, Lost Souls started as kind of an experiment for us to kind of, we took the Lost Souls as kind of living in the ectoplasm, and like the souls themselves like are kind of like a work between our team, like Lost Labs, and the souls. We struck a deal with them to basically help them like move over to the kind of, the afterlife, I guess what we call, I don't know if you guys have seen The Good Place, but took some inspiration from them, but kind of, helping helping the Lost Souls kind of move from that, ectoplasmic realm and, try to help them, do good deeds and whatnot to kind of get to the good place. And so we kind of have now our DeFi application is called Ecto, and the metaverse is called Ectoverse. Okay. So yeah, hopefully we can get the souls in the Ectoverse as quickly as possible.
So I saw that you guys have a community DAO. So how do you go about making purchases? Because I saw that you recently bought a creature world.
For that, we wanted to set up, just a community interaction and also, give the community a voice sooner rather than later. So the idea is, we set up our vault, and that our vault is, a direct, like the community has a direct say in that our vault. And so whether it's a holder that wants to bring up a proposal of, they can see funds within our vault and decide to bring up a proposal, or we can as a team and have it as a vote. Basically, we wanted to create, something of a collective ownership there to test, not necessarily test, but get everybody ready in the community for kind of more DAO interaction, because we will have a lot more DAO interaction overall down the line, especially when Ecto is out and when our metaverse is out. So the idea there is to really set up a strong structure of getting people to vote, and at least, because what you see a lot is that voting usually increases over time. If you can start it at the right point. If not, you're kind of trying to incentivize voting instead of give people in the back of their head like, this is something I should be doing for my self-interest and not just for the project. If everybody's contributing in some way, it definitely can move the project along better than incentivizing or saying that a lot of DeFi protocols, people vote even just to try to get an airdrop later on, or to try to spread out their votes and stuff like that in different wallets. So it's kind of not as indicative of what you would get. So when you're doing a DAO like this, it kind of gives, there's no direct incentive at first. It's the collective moving toward, one certain point. So, and then our first vote was brought up because those were some projects that, we met in NFT NYC, and we saw strong communications between them and development, and it was something that we brought up as a proposal because it would benefit the community later down the line.
I think that's all the questions that I have for today. Would you like to mention anything else about your project?
Thanks everyone on the chat for listening to us. We're we have, I guess, more of the DeFi application and whatnot, and a white paper out within at least the next month to kind of explain what I just rambled on about, in terms of the DeFi stuff. So that's exciting. And then the merch store kind of as soon as I can finish coding it. So hopefully soon.